there's one of the things that sticks in my mind. You've heard the guys say about having nightmares and stuff like that, And well, I've never had any nightmares. I probably do a little more reminiscing now than I did for years and years after the war. And now I'll find myself talking about the Army and the war to people that aren't really much interested in it, And I say, oh, well, I'm wasting my time with this guy, or stuff like that. Because one thing that stuck in my mind, probably the first guy I ever saw get hit. We were going with the recovery unit. We're supposed to go up for some reason. That part I have forgotten. But there were some infantry guys out there ahead of us. We were supposed to go through the infantry and pick up some. No infantry guy said, if I was you, I wouldn't be going up there. Because there was a regular Caterpillar bulldozer in there someplace, and why it was ever there, I don't know. But just ahead of us, that thing was blown to hell and gone. And so whatever got it was still up, shot it was still up there. And these infantry guys told us that they wouldn't go through there if it was up to them. Infantry never liked this heavy equipment around them anyway because it drawed fire. And so we backed off the side of the road a little bit, backed up a little, kind of so that we weren't in the same view down that same road. And we got out of the recovery and we were trying to discuss a little bit what we should do. And I was out. I walked along the side of the tank, stayed quite close to it. We had cover on one side that way. And I got to the rear of the tank. Instead of just walking on past, I looked around. And I was on this side of the tank here, and there was one of these old hedgerows. There was no dirt bank. This was just a brush hedgerow that had been trimmed about as tall as a man or a shoulder high. And there was kids from the Signal Corps was unrolling this damn telephone wire just on the other side of that hedge fence. It probably was about as far from here, me as that van is sitting out there, and maybe not quite that far. A damn mortar shell landed right between his legs.
Between his legs?
Yeah, right between his legs. It blew him up in the air, blew him over that fence, and he landed in the road out there. And he landed face down, he was in such misery. I never heard anybody scream like that.
He was still alive?
Yeah, he was still alive. And he was beating the ground with his elbows and his knees, and he would raise his body up. And he was doing that, And he was kind of making a circle while he's doing this with his body, And the thing, there was just a couple of infantry guys around there and us and this guy. And the thought that went through my mind, somebody just as well put him out of his misery. And the thing was going through my mind, well, just shoot him and get it over with. This guy was in misery. You can't imagine. And I said, well, I waited probably 30 seconds or something like that to see where the next mortar round goes. They always usually had a system they would use, and they were across them,
Yes.
And I thought, well, I got a little cover here. I'll probably wait a half a minute.
Won't believe a word he said.
It's all true, man. And I couldn't believe it. I hear this old Jeep come buzzing up there. 2 medics jumped out of that thing, and they laid this guy on a stretcher, throwed him on the back of that Jeep, The one guy got back in to drive, and the other one was strapping this guy down and giving him a morphine shot or something. I don't know what he was doing. And they got out of there, and I said, boy, I never was injured, but I still was glad to see them medics show up when they did. It always wonders, would I have shot that guy or would
you were waiting to see when the next mortar would land. And then you were going to put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
Or you were thinking about it.
I was thinking about that. I thought, well, there's nobody around here to help him. I don't know what to do. What could I do? And the thought went through my mind, somebody just well put him out of his misery, you know. And I always wondered to this day, if those medics hadn't shown up, what would I have done? This is our probably the first day in. We didn't do much of anything. It's probably our second day in combat.